T&M Kids. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more content.
It was a hot summer's day on the island of Sodor. Thomas and the other engines were very busy. They were helping the children get ready for a big fancy dress party.
Toot, toot. I love parties,
Thomas said, happily. There were lots of jobs to do. Percy collected all the cakes and buns, Toby collected some sticky toffee for making toffee apples, and Thomas took the tables and chairs. When Thomas delivered the tables and chairs, the children were busy making their fancy dress costumes.
Dressing up looks like fun,
Thomas peeped. Just then the fat controller came to talk to Thomas.
Thomas,
He boomed.
I would like you to give train rides at the party. But first, you must go to the wash to be cleaned so that you look your very best.
Soon, Thomas was at the wash covered in soapy bubbles. As he was being scrubbed and rubbed and rubbed and scrubbed, Thomas thought about the party and wished that he, too, could go in fancy dress. Just then, Percy arrived.
Hello, Thomas. You look like a giant bubble,
Laughed Percy.
That's it.
Peeped Thomas.
I'll go to the party as a giant bubble.
So Thomas puffed away from his washdown, still covered in bubbles. He couldn't wait to show the children his fancy dress costume. But before long, there was a problem. The soapy bubbles kept blowing into his eyes and Thomas couldn't see where he was going.
Oh?
He peeped, blinking hard. Then, bang! He had bumped straight into Toby and his truck full of sticky toffee.
I'm so sorry, Toby.
Puffed Thomas.
I couldn't see where I was going.
Toby's axle was broken. When the fat controller arrived, he told Toby to go to the yard to be repaired. Toby looked very disappointed.
But if I don't deliver the sticky toffee to the party on time, the children won't be able to make toffee apples.
He whistled, sadly. Then Thomas had an idea.
Please, sir.
He puffed.
Perhaps I could take the sticky toffee to the party?
Very well.
Said the fat controller.
Go and get cleaned up and no more ideas about fancy dress.
Once Thomas had all the soapy bubbles cleaned away, he puffed off down the track, shunting the toffee wagon in front of him.
I must get the sticky toffee to the children on time,
Chuffed Thomas to himself. But then he started daydreaming. He was thinking about fancy dress again, and as he passed the airport, he saw Jeremy the jet on the runway.
That's it.
Chuffed Thomas.
Just imagine how grand I would look if I arrived at the party dressed up as an aeroplane.
Thomas was so busy thinking about his jet plane costume that he wasn't concentrating on where he was going. Thomas didn't notice that the points had changed. He puffed straight into a siding and bumped into the buffers. Bump. Some of the sticky toffee splashed all over Thomas, dribbling over his boiler and his buffers. There was even a drip at the end of his nose.
Oh, no.
Wheezed Thomas.
Now I'm going to be too late and too messy to give the children train rides. Why didn't I watch what I was doing, instead of daydreaming?
Then Thomas saw an old railway line.
I know.
He puffed.
That's a shortcut. If I go that way I might get the toffee to the party on time.
Thomas chuffed carefully along the old track. It hadn't been used for a very long time and there were lots of overgrown trees and bushes along the way.
I will get there, I will get there.
Thomas puffed to himself as he bumped through the bushes and bashed through the branches.
I must get to the party, I must get to the party.
He chuffed. But Thomas was still covered in the sticky toffee, and all the leaves and twigs were getting stuck to the sweet, sticky goo. When Thomas arrived at the party, he was completely covered from funnel to footplate in leaves and twigs. Everyone cheered when they saw him. They could only just see his face peeping out of all the greenery.
I've brought you the toffee,
Thomas puffed, sadly.
But I'm too messy to give you train rides, I'm afraid.
The children clapped and cheered.
You're not messy.
They cried.
You're just in fancy dress.
You're just in fancy dress.
The fat controller and Lady Hat both agreed.
You look the best of all.
They said. Thomas was very happy.
Peep, peep.
He whistled. The party was a great success. All the cakes and buns were eaten, and there was only one thing more popular than the sticky toffee apples. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more content.